Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know it's your girl Solange Daniel. It's been a while, but I've been busy with personal stuff. That's why I haven't posted for several months now, but I am back now. So let's talk about what has been trending of lately. Coronavirus, shit is getting real, or better still. Oh god, it is so funny. Or COVID-19. Okay, I already made a video about this earlier, but the video was not really good as I wanted it to be, and I made another video and it was really nice. I love the outcome of the video. So there have been more updates on what's going on with coronavirus and the world and so many things. So I thought it wise to do a lot of research, and I came up with so many different data on it. So as we know, coronavirus or novel coronavirus, or better still COVID-19, as you hear, it's a virus that attacks the respiratory system. It can cause illness in both humans and animals. You understand? It belongs to the coronavirus family, and it ranges the illness ranges from just micro or better still common cold to severe illnesses, and it can even lead to death. As we all know, this all started in China, precisely Wuhan, and spread rapidly to all the parts of the world. The symptoms ranges from fever, cough, sneezing, aches or better still pains, sore throat, nasal congestion, runny nose, and diarrhea. The onset of this disease has been known to be mild, but as time goes on, it gradually becomes worse and even more dangerous to the health, which can even lead to the state of death of the person. Not everybody who has common cold symptoms or respiratory tract symptoms need to be tested for COVID-19. This person has to have a combination of the symptoms I just mentioned and must have a recent history of travel. Then you can visit the nearest hospital, whether you have symptoms or not, and make them to know that I traveled of recent, maybe to Italy or to China. I don't know, but I just want to know the state of my health now before it gets worse. It is also good to bear in mind that about 80% of people who suffer from this COVID-19 usually recovers. So there's a probability that just about approximately 20% of them don't recover. So a vast majority of them do recover. That's what they're trying to explain here. The reservoir. The reservoir is where this organism, this virus normally lives without causing any illness. It normally lives there. So in this case, a research that was carried out on recent shows that this virus normally lives in bats. So bats are the reservoir for this virus. But several other animals out there have not yet been tested to know if they are carriers of this virus. So for now, it is just advisable to stay away from certain animals. Stay away and don't, when I mean stay away, I mean don't eat certain animals that has not been approved by the government to be eaten or sold in the market. You understand? What I mean by approved by the government, I mean those animals that have not been approved by the government to be eaten or sold in the market. We know there are several. Like here in UAE, just cattle are allowed to be eaten and sold in the market. pork meat is not allowed to be eaten here in the UAE. So such animals that have not been approved by the government, we need to stay away from such animals. It will really help us if we stay away from such animals till further research is carried on to know if those who are interested in eating other types of animals are free to eat it or not. It's easily spread by when you sneeze or you cough, you understand. The virus leaves the respiratory tract and floats in the air for quite a while before settling on objects around it. That's how when you cough or you sneeze without covering your nose or your mouth, you let you let the virus into the air. So by letting the virus into the air, someone who passes around you for quite just some seconds can breathe it in before it settles on any object around. More to that, when it settles on these objects around and you get in contact with this object, like touching the object or rubbing a body part to this object, and you don't properly wash your hands or disinfect that area of your body or cleansing your body properly, you can move it from the part of that body to your face, which with that it can get entry through your mouth, your nose, and your eyes. And we know your mouth, nose, and eye are the perfect way for bacteria to live into the respiratory tract. They are all interconnected. It is very easy for it to live into the respiratory tract. As long as you are a human, you can have this disease. It just having this disease and how it manifests in your body to get into the level of seriousness or death has to do with how strong your immune system is. It just has to do with if your immune system is strong. When I mean this, I mean those who have a strong immune system. But we have to bear in mind that there are people who are immunocompromised, like people who have cancer, people who do chemotherapy, people with immunosuppressive diseases. These people have a weak immune system, so such people are really prone for the disease to get worse in them or even lead to death. But other than that, if you don't have any of these diseases and your system is good, there's an 80% chance that you may survive. So what if you are tested positive for this? What is the treatment? Mainly, the treatment here is how to minimize the symptoms and see how they can get the person in a stable state, because as of recent, two drugs have been approved and several other scientists out there to treat coronavirus. Shit is getting real. To treat corona, it is also based on how to improve the immunity of the patient, because we best know that with a strong immunity you can fight off the virus. So getting you in a very stable state or getting your immune system like top notch actually puts you in a very good state to fight the virus. But two drugs have shown to treat the virus, like get you to a stable state and get you to a level of being tested negative for the virus. And these drugs include hydrochloroquine and azithromycin. Hydrochloroquine is given 600 milligrams per day for 10 days, 3 times a day. Azithromycin is given 250 milligrams for 4 days, but for the first day the person takes the drugs 2 times a day, but for the subsequent days it is given to the person just once a day. These two drugs combined have really shown that they have really shown improvement in the health of those who on those having coronavirus and were placed on these two drugs. The mechanism here, two drugs are brought together in order to fight this virus. in order not to leave a loophole for this virus to survive. And with that being done, people are really recovering from this disease, who are being placed on these drugs, to the extent that they are tested negative after a few days, or let me say a few weeks. After a few weeks, their results are showing negative, like they are free from the virus and they are free to go home. As and me, how can everybody come together in order to help stop the spread of this virus? We know there's a chain of transmission when it comes to spreading of illnesses. This has to help prevent the spread of this illness is by breaking the chain of transmission. You understand? This has to do with preventive and curative measures. You have to put them in place in order to minimize the spread of this virus, and also in order to minimize the number of people who die from this virus. So for now, we have proper hand washing. Preventive motives. We have proper hand washing. You're supposed to wash your hands several times a day. Then you're supposed to wash it for at least 20 minutes. Jesus. You're supposed to wash it for at least 20 seconds. And you know there is a way you have to wash your hands. You understand? Basically, it has to do with you wetting your hands first, getting the soap in your palm. You do interpalm. Then you go behind your palm, your hand, and you kind of interlock your fingers like this, something of this sort, and you do it both hands. Then you come to your thumb and you twist anti-clockwise and clockwise on both thumbs. Then you come to the tip of your fingers and you rub like this. This is to get your fingernails and the tip of your fingers. Then later you get to the palm of your fingers, you do like this. You get to the palm of the other finger, you do like this. Then now you get to your wrist. You have to make sure you wash your wrist. Then you rinse your hand. Make sure your hands don't touch the wall of the sink. You just like let the water drain, pour on your hand and drain down. Then you clean your hand. When you're done cleaning your hand, the tissue you use to turn off the tap. You don't turn off the tap immediately after washing your hands. You dry your hands first. You use the tissue you're just from using in drying your hands and turn off the tap. Don't touch the taps after washing your hands. Then